Hello viewers, and many thanks for joining us. According to reports, Andy Burnham has officially become the new Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, marking the beginning of a new chapter in British politics after the resignation of Keir Starmer. The 56-year-old Labour leader used his first address to the nation to outline an ambitious vision for Britain's future, promising sweeping political and economic reforms aimed at rebuilding public confidence, strengthening essential services, and reversing decades of economic imbalance.
Have accepted His Majesty the King's invitation to form a government. In doing so, I am acutely conscious that I am the 6th person in the last 10 years to walk up this street, the 7th Prime Minister since 2016, making this a moment for reflection and new resolution. It requires my generation of politicians to raise our game and rise to the new challenge. Britain needs to show the world that we can regain our stability once again. And that is our challenge, to make politics work, to make it work better. I know people at home are fed up with politics. I hear you, and I want to be honest with you. We have not been good enough, and we need to be better. We will be. We will make this moment a circuit breaker for Britain, bringing forward the biggest changes in the last 40 years.
His appointment comes at a time when the United Kingdom continues to face pressure from slow economic growth, rising living costs, pressure on the National Health Service, and growing public demands for meaningful change. Burnham's inaugural speech was more than a ceremonial address. It was a statement of intent. Rather than focusing only on the immediate challenges facing his government, he presented what he described as a long-term national strategy designed to reshape Britain over the next decade. At the center of his message was a promise to introduce a new 10-year plan that would provide stability, economic investment, and restore confidence in government.
We will help people to live well, building a more preventative state, investing in people's success rather than paying for failure. And that work starts now. I will soon go through that door behind me and issue my first instruction to end rough sleeping in our country.
The announcement reflects an effort to move away from short-term policy making and replace it with a broader vision that can guide the country's economic and social development well into the future. One of the strongest themes in Burnham's speech was the cost of living. Millions of households across Britain continue to struggle with high housing costs, expensive energy bills, and pressure on everyday living expenses. Burnham argued that essential public services and key sectors affecting daily life should be placed under stronger public control to make them more affordable for ordinary citizens. Although detailed policy proposals are expected to follow, the direction outlined in his speech signals a greater role for government in areas that directly affect family budgets and household finances. The new Prime Minister also described his administration as a circuit breaker for Britain, suggesting that the country has reached a point where gradual adjustments are no longer enough. In his view, Britain requires a fundamental reset that addresses structural problems rather than temporary political challenges. He promised what he called the bigger political and economic changes in the country for 4 decades, indicating that his government intends to pursue reforms extending beyond traditional party politics and into the wider organization of the British economy. Burnham devoted considerable attention to Britain's younger generation, arguing that long-term prosperity depends on creating greater opportunities for young people. He pledged to reform the education system so that it better prepares students for employment while also expanding support programs that help young people enter the workforce. These commitments reflect growing concerns across the United Kingdom about youth employment, skills shortages, and the increasing cost of higher education. By linking education directly to economic growth, Burnham signaled that investment in young people would become one of the defining priorities of his government. Reflecting on Britain's recent history, Burnham argued that some of the country's current economic difficulties can be traced back to policy decisions made during the 1980s. He stated that political power became increasingly centralized while economic power was progressively prioritized, leaving many industrial communities behind.
In the 1980s, Britain took some wrong turns. Political power was centralised, economic power privatised, large parts of the country deindustrialised, and they still haven't recovered. Many feel as though they're still in decline, and they don't have the ability to turn things around, and that's why we will change politics.
Those remarks provide an important insight into the philosophy likely to shape his administration, suggesting a greater emphasis on regional development, public investment, and reducing economic inequality between different parts of the country. His comments also carry political significance because they challenge long-standing assumptions about the balance between the public and private sectors in Britain's economy. Successive governments have pursued different approaches to privatization, regulation, and public spending, often leading to intense political debate. Burnham's speech indicates that his administration may seek a different balance by expanding the role of government in areas considered essential to everyday life while encouraging economic growth through long-term planning and investment. Beyond domestic policy, Burnham called for renewed national unity at a time when political divisions have become increasingly visible across the United Kingdom. He urged citizens to work alongside his government to rebuild confidence in public institutions and strengthen Britain's standing on the international stage. His appeal suggested that economic recovery alone would not be enough without restoring trust between government and the public. That message is likely to resonate with many voters who have expressed frustration with years of political instability and changing leadership. The international community will also be watching closely to see how Burnham positions Britain in relation to its global partners. Foreign policy, trade, defense cooperation, and economic competitiveness remain critical issues for any British government. Although his inaugural speech focused primarily on domestic priorities, his reference to strengthening international relationships indicates that his administration intends to maintain Britain's active role in global affairs while pursuing reforms at home. As with every new administration, The greatest challenge will be translating ambitious promises into measurable results. Delivering a 10-year national strategy will require sustained political support, careful economic management, and cooperation between central government, local authorities, businesses, and communities. Many of the reforms outlined in Burnham's speech will also require legislation, significant public investment, and the ability to navigate economic pressures that extend beyond Britain's borders. Andy Burnham has set out an ambitious vision that seeks to redefine Britain's political and economic direction. Whether his government succeeds will ultimately depend not on the promises made during his first speech, but on the policies implemented and the outcomes experienced by ordinary people over the coming years. As Britain centers this new political era, both supporters and critics will be watching closely to see whether the new Prime Minister can deliver the transformation he has promised and restore confidence in a nation looking for stability, opportunity, and renewed purpose. For more updates, stay with us on News Express. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I am Cassie Tony. Many thanks for watching.